Tanya, employers are saying from top companies that most job candidates are unqualified for the open positions, which is a pretty serious situation. We're going to be talking to Alexandra Levitt, who's a career advisory board member, workplace expert, and author. Alexandra, good morning.
We're going to be talking about a recent survey. Good morning, Alexandra. There was a recent survey. What were the key findings?
Sure. Well, the Job Preparedness Indicator study was a national study, and it was conducted on behalf of the Career Advisory Board, which was established by DeVry University, of which I'm a founding member. And in my mind, the most astounding statistic was that only 14% of hiring managers at top companies felt that the candidates out there in the market had the necessary skills to fill open positions. And this is incredible when you think about, we think the market is so poor and unemployment is so high, and yet there are all of these positions that are going unfilled.
So what you're saying is there's a huge gap in skill sets. Is it caused so many people going to universities, young people going to universities, becoming educated? What are they missing?
Well, it's actually not just college students or college graduates. We're finding discrepancies at all levels. So, for example, the Job Preparedness Indicator looked at key valued skills across all levels. At the entry level, so the level that you mentioned, being self-motivated, having great time management skills, that was looked upon as being highly valued. At the mid-level, it was things like problem solving and communication. And at the senior level, it was things like having strategic perspective or knowing where your position fits in the big picture of the organization, and having a global outlook, which means that you know how business operates in different cultures. So depending on the level, that was where this...
Alexandra, what I'm sensing you're saying here, we're not talking so much about specific skills, we're talking about basic skills, some common sense, some basic modalities, and some basic decorum in the business world.
True, but even what we might think of as common sense can be improved upon, and that's what I love about doing the job I do with the Career Advisory Board, is we actually provide actionable advice for going out and getting better at things like time management, for example. And there are a variety of ways that you can do that without overhauling your entire life.
These are basic
things that you can incorporate into your daily.
Alexandra, these are basic traits, these are basic abilities and qualities that most people learn from 5th grade up. So where are we lacking here? This is not specific skills you're talking about here.
Well, I define skills as something that you can improve upon. So if you can improve on the ability to take initiative, which I think you can, then I think it's something that you can learn over your lifetime. And even if we've learned these things in 5th grade, it doesn't necessarily mean we don't need a refresher. I mean, people pick up my book, They Don't Teach Corporate in College. That's meant for college grads. They pick it up at age 45 and 50 and say, gosh, some of this seems like common sense, but I've forgotten about it in the hectic rush of today's business world. I'm not doing these things.
Alexandra, I sense maybe too, to what Tanya's point is, maybe a generation gap. We were taught, as Tanya said, we were taught good customer service, good skills, learned business. We learned how to count, back money. It seemed, I think, maybe simple things that we learned as young people. Are we missing that with the young people today?
Well, Lou, I would agree with you to some extent, in the sense that I think with the proliferation of technology and social media, young people there's not as much of an emphasis on interpersonal communication. And so when they go into the business world, I think they've got a further way to go in terms of establishing those skills than maybe some people who have been doing this since day one.
I agree. I think technology and the social networks and the internet have created a gap between people learning how to interact with people, speak with people, talk with people, in today's world.
Sure.
Alexandra, so what you're saying, there are jobs out there. We hear that there's no jobs, but there are jobs. There's just not enough people qualified for them.
That's right. There absolutely are the jobs. And to go out there into the real world and figure out a way to snag them, you can do it really easily. You can take a volunteer position. You can go out there and take a continuing education course. You can do an internship. You can get a senior level mentor. There are so many things you can do. And we've got more actionable advice if you'd like to check out our website, www.careeradvisoryboard.com. This organization that I've been involved with is fantastic. We really just want to help job seekers at all levels advance. So check it out.
Thanks, Alexandra. Great information.
You bet. Great advice.
Yes. Okay.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Interesting, though.
Yes.
Interesting, though, because we hear that there's no jobs. We hear people are having a difficult time finding a job, and I'm sure they are. Do not misunderstand me. I'm not second guessing that. But maybe we need to look at how we approach the interview.
I would say that's true, and I think also, Tanya, from what I've seen in the last probably 10 years, people come in and tell the employer exactly what they want instead of asking the employer what they need from the individual going to work.
When we come back, closing thoughts and moments right here on the Morning Scramble.